You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast. With Brian, Craig, and Jeff give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast here. We got episode number 105 for you. Jeff, we've got a lot of breaking news that broke this week. Spotlight of the week is baseball, buddy. Baseball is back. Obviously, I'm just joking. Spotlight of the week is the big trade, the celebration for the Denver Broncos. Jeff, congratulations. Russell Wilson. Give me a little golf clap here. You finally got a quarterback, buddy.
Oh, 5 years of agony. 5 years of fetal position crying at the end of seasons. 5 years of just absolute trash. Oh,
Well,
man.
Well, Jeff, we got a lot to get into here, but obviously we're going to talk about Russell to Denver. We're going to talk about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers here as well, and any other quarterback news we got. We got headlines of the week all over the map here. We got baseball. We got some more football stories here and a little bit of basketball as well. So we got going to jump into it. It's been a little bit since me and Jeff been on together, but we are back and ready to roll. Russell Wilson, man. So just insane. Okay. Russell Wilson gets traded to the Denver Broncos. Seattle gets 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, and tight end Noah Fant. Now, tight end Noah Fant's a really good one, but I gotta say, looking back on this, Denver got a steal. All right, what are Seattle thinking? That's a horrible trade. Now, I will mention this because there was a lot of mention about going on about Seattle had better offers from other teams. They had 2 better offers, Jeff, from the Washington football team, or the Commanders, I guess now, and the Eagles. But Russell Wilson has a no-trade clause, and he turned down playing there. He accepted the trade to Denver, which Denver's the better team of those 3, and you get him, and that makes him an instant contender right away. And I don't know. There's a lot of people who don't think Denver's very good, Jeff. I've seen it online, and they talk about. And when we talked about Aaron Rodgers going to Denver, they're like, "Oh, well, Denver doesn't have a better football team." I'm like, they do have a better football team than the Green Bay Packers. Their defense is better. Their offensive wide receiver group, yeah, their team.
Who said that?
Oh, a bunch of people, Jeff. Denver's not talented.
Were they local Cowboys?
Oh, no. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I'm talking about on Facebook.
Okay. Because I thought some Cowboy people were talking trash. So I'm like, I think we beat you guys.
No. So adding a quarterback, finally adding a quarterback, and and you didn't give up. A whole lot. I think the biggest ones, obviously, when you give up first round picks, but tight end Noah Fant. Other than that, there's really a kind of a steal here for you, and you get a lot better, and Seattle gets a lot worse.
Oh, this was everything the people here in Denver and Colorado in general have been waiting for. This quarterback rumor mill has been going on for a year. And take an idea of what that's like. What that's like as a sports fan, what that's like as a football fan, to know that your team is constantly in the rumor mill from the draft until now. That's how long it was. From the draft, it was Aaron Rodgers is done. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be there anymore. He's going to get traded in the draft. What? He's going to be traded tonight. And so it was just like this big craziness show all year. Brian, you know what it's like. And, not really sure what's going to happen. Not sure what you're going to get. Not sure if you're going to get what you're going to get. Then it's Deshaun Watson, and then it's all this crazy stuff that happens with him. So it's just like, Russell Wilson was always he was talked about, but I think it was talked about when we realized that there was some bad blood going on there. And so a lot of people were, then you had Kyler Murray. That was another thing that popped up. So it was just this big thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to write it out. I said on the podcast, I'm like, look, I'm going to wait. I don't care. I just want a new quarterback. Let's see what we get. Is it possible Aaron Rodgers? Sure. I still don't think that was going to happen. I think I mentioned that before at one point. I just didn't think it was going to happen. The way he talked about it at that acceptance speech was a little suspect. I think a lot of that was also trying to get more money out of Green Bay. So it was just that the possibility was there. Then you had the owner of Green Bay saying we're never going to trade him anyway, even before he signed. So it was just this big mess. But Russell Wilson, when people kept bringing him up, I'm like, okay, it's possible that if we do get him, which I didn't think we had the pieces to trade for him, and then we would have to give up a lot. And I think Aaron Rodgers was a lot. I think the asking price on him was a lot.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
think George Payton was not going to pull the trigger on it. And
if Seattle was smart, they would have got a lot.
So
more
here's the interesting. There was a rumor that came out that was like about a week ago, and this is like 2 weeks in the making. And about a week ago, the idea was Seattle, or it was like maybe a couple more weeks ago, but the idea was Seattle wanted an ungodly amount of pieces. And there were certain pieces in that deal that George Payton said, nope, no, we're not going to get rid of these guys. Sorry. So once Rodgers got signed, Seattle came back at him, and George Payton said, okay, fine. So we'll give you this, this, and this, but we're not going to give you these X players. And I'm sure that was Patrick Surtain. I'm sure it was Jerry Jeudy. I'm sure it was, a few other, maybe even Devontae Williams. And he was like, no, I just drafted these guys. No, we're not getting rid of those pieces. Those are pivotal pieces to build this team. And so they structured this. I don't think Russell Wilson want to go anywhere else. The idea that he studied Denver before he even got here. He knew about the facility when they were walking around a couple days ago, and he was explaining to them that he knew all this stuff about the facility. And they were like, you've done your research. You were kind of prepared to come here. So it's kind of interesting. But man, the Broncos have gotten the piece that they needed. Brian, we both won. You got your guy. He came and stayed. You don't have to worry about me rubbing it every Sunday, or whatever. You don't have to hear that. So now Rodgers stays there for 4 years, and Russell Wilson comes in here, and I'm sure he's got 2 years left on his deal. I guarantee you they'll extend his contract. I mean, come on.
Now it's a win. It is a win-win. It's a win for you, definitely. Congratulations. It's amazing. It's a win for me, and it's a double win for me because my conference just got easier. Right? Russell Wilson leaves. Tom Brady retires. Who do you got? Who do you got? Right? Your division now is the toughest division in the NFL. You got
absolutely.
That is the best quarterback division. Those divisional games are going to be must watch.
Oh yeah,
that's fantastic.
We got no primetime jack all season last year. We had one primetime game. It was a Thursday night, garbage trash, and now we're finally going to get some primetime games. Thank God.
Well, look at this.
It's so good. And then we got a new ownership coming in possibly, and it's going to change things up a little bit more on that end. It's going to be interesting here. A lot of people are extremely excited. I'm excited. The reactions on YouTube were absolutely gold. Just absolute, fantastic. The reactions on YouTube. People are already putting him on the Madden squad on their Madden 22. Like it's just to see how he connects with Jerry Jeudy and all this stuff. It's gonna be. I'm telling you, this is a team that people slept on for a long time. We built these pieces. George Payton had the best draft out of all the general managers. It was voted by the NFL itself, the players and the coaches and all that. George Payton had the best draft grade-wise. So the dude is making moves, and it's like he knew what he wanted to do, and he was just waiting for the right time to do it. He knew he traded Von Miller, and everybody was upset and pissed off. Guess what? If that trade didn't happen with Von Miller, we don't get Russell Wilson. And it's very possible. Yeah, and Vaughn could come back. He keeps flirting at it, so it's just kind of it's very interesting. I got this Peyton-esque moment with this deal. This is one of the first times since the Peyton Manning era where it was exciting, where a second he steps on that field, this team is going to be different, and it's going to be a completely different it's going to be a completely different structure around how our offense is run. Nathaniel Hackett having a 33-year-old Russell Wilson who's never had an offensive-minded coach his whole entire career. Give me a break. What better thing can you ask for? That's exactly what Russell Wilson's been wanting. He signed off on this trade because he had a no-trade clause. This is where he wanted to go. It was obvious. Now it is. We weren't thinking about it because we were all like Rodgers.
And I think they had to let the Rodgers domino fall, because if you have a chance to get Aaron Rodgers, you take it. But look, Jeff, I ain't gonna deny, right? I fell both ways with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, it's great to have a 4-time MVP on your team. It's great to have the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, be on your football team. He needs to get over that hump. That's besides the point. When you're looking at the future of the franchise, my best bet and thought was to trade Aaron Rodgers and get the most back you can while he still has that, to set yourself up for the future. But Rodgers supposedly, now here's the biggest question mark here, Jeff, supposedly signs a 4-year, $200 million contract, making him the highest paid player in NFL history, $153 million guaranteed. That was what was reported. Rodgers says it's not true. He's working on a team cap friendly deal. I don't know. So we still don't know the numbers. Is it 4-year, $200 million and all of it's backloaded, or I have no clue. We franchise tagged Devontae Adams. We're going to have both in back next season.
Is it an incentives base? Is that how they're going to restructure it to where it doesn't?
They'll backload it. Doing this deal right now gives us money this year, but in a couple years we're going to be in cap hell again, and that's the issue. We've got Rodgers for 4 more years, and maybe 5. Now I don't know, because he's still under contract for 1. So is this a 4-year deal added onto that, or is this a eat that year and it's basically just basically a 3-year deal? You know what I'm saying? So we're still waiting for the financials parts to come of it. Now, look, I'm not going to complain. I love watching Aaron Rodgers. He is my second favorite quarterback of all time, and to me, and I'm not trying to be Homer, he's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. Okay. So I love to have him. I just hope that he can get us over the hump and win another Super Bowl. That's all. All
So
Packers fans are dreaming for is this quarterback another Super Bowl.
So here's and we're gonna be ping ponging off Wilson and Rodgers in this conversation. I know that's the two. Let's just say what it is. Those are the two number one topics in the NFL today, right now. Still, people are still talking about this. So this whole thing with Seattle and everything, and there's a whole hoopla about what happened with Russell Wilson. He had an injury last year, whatever. I would take a finger injury over the neck injury that Peyton had anytime. So I think he'll be fine. Actually saw him throw in one of those skill contests before the Super Bowl, and he looked insane. And so, it's I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you're going to go to this absolutely juggernaut of a division. I'm telling you something right now. There were many games that we lost that if we had had a quarterback, I think we would have won.
Oh yeah, you should have beat the Chiefs.
We would have beat the Chiefs at least once this season. It came down to a 2-yard handoff, and the idiot did not block. Melvin Gordon got lit up the second he grabbed the ball and then fumbled the ball, and we lost. So it's kind of things like that, and I think even the quarterback at that point was Locke. So with all that being said, I do think that we definitely are beating the Chiefs this year. I honestly think that we could take care of the Chargers as well. They beat us at the end of the season. I think Locke was the quarterback. Whatever that means. It was week 17. It was a horrible game. I think at that point we were completely not even – that was the game where we lost, where we were completely out of contention, I guess. And so it was just kind of – I looked at that game and kind of was like, well, we beat them earlier with Bridgewater. This defense knows how to play against these guys. This should not scare Russell Wilson, and nor do I think it does scare Russell Wilson, because if it did, he wouldn't have come here. He knows what's in our division. He knows the quarterbacks in the division. He's not stupid. There was a rumor went around that Rodgers was scared of going against these guys.
Rodgers ain't scared of nothing, bro. Get out of here.
It's a tough division, and a lot of analysts kept saying that, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Rodgers is not
point
scared
fingers
of anybody, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't even bring that crap in here.
So
first of all, no one's scared to go play. These are competitive guys. Okay.
Exactly.
Russell, and here's the thing with this, Jeff, is Russell Wilson. His first injury was this last season, right? And that was a freak finger injury.
Prior to that, he hadn't missed any games.
You're getting him just about at his peak. I mean, he's just about at his peak. And think about this. Brady just played to what, 65? Okay. Aaron Rodgers is almost 40. You're going to have him for at least 7 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're set up for success. And does it happen right away? It might not happen right away. You'll be a better football team than you were last season.
Oh, we're definitely making the playoffs.
Do you go to the Super Bowl right away? I don't know. But
I'm not going to
having a quarterback
playoff football
makes it worth it. Now, let's go back to Seattle, because what are they doing? And I told
they're rebuilding.
I told you guys this. Seattle was dumb enough to choose their head coach over an elite quarterback. That is stupid. Pete Carroll is bad. Pete Carroll has lucked his way into a Super Bowl and another Super Bowl appearance, okay, with a great defense and Russell Wilson. And I've told you for years, Jeff, Pete Carroll is a guy that wants to play good defense, which we all want to play good defense, okay? Run the ball, special teams, and throw it if we have to. Russell Wilson needs a guy that lets him throw the ball. Let Russ cook, okay? Denver will do that. Nathaniel Hackett, let Aaron Rodgers throw the football. He's going to put a lot of confidence in Russell Wilson. He's going to let him throw the ball. They're actually going to use Jerry Jeudy, okay?
Jerry Jeudy didn't get a touchdown all season. Think about how ridiculous. Now, again, he was injured at one point, but
he did get hurt.
My goodness.
They didn't use him. They don't use him like they should. they will now. Nathaniel Hackett will
Pat
use him.
Shurmur, you maniac.
Seattle Seahawks fans got to be crying. What is going on? We're rebuilding. Why are we
They
keeping
had
Pete
to
Carroll?
have known. But from what I could tell, they knew this was coming.
They
dude.
just dropped Bobby Wagner that guy's been there for over 10 years, and he said the saddest thing is I've been here for 10 years, and they didn't even tell me I wasn't coming back. I found out on Sports Center or ESPN or something. How
he
pathetic
woke
of a
up, turned it
franchise.
on, and was like, "Huh,
son of a." Yeah, that's some BS. Seattle has just dropped to the worst team in that division. Okay, I'm glad Russell Wilson went to the AFC, and it makes it great for Green Bay because we do have the MVP. We do have the best quarterback in in football last season, but in this conference. So all the young quarterbacks and all that is on your side of the field there, Jeff, in your conference, and it makes for some good football. And in that division, I'm going to be watching those division games like they're my own division games because that's going to be some fantastic football. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. And I told you this, Jeff.
I love it. I love it. I love it, dude.
I told you if you got Aaron Rodgers, I'd buy me an Aaron Rodgers Denver Bronco jersey. I'm not going to go out and buy me a Russell Wilson one. I'm not like that. But I'm excited for you, man. When that broke, I said, "Oh man, I got to text Jeff." It's great for both teams. Now, look, I'm not going to get on here and not act like I've said we should trade Aaron Rodgers because I've said it and I thought we should have. Obviously, having him back makes my team better now. I was looking better for cap space and financially down the road, but I guess the Green Bay Packers will run into that situation when they get there. We do have another breaking news of a quarterback situation, Jeff. Carson Wentz gets traded.
Get that dog trash out of here.
He gets traded one season with the Colts, and they said, we got to get this guy the hell out of Dodge. And he gets traded to the Commanders for 2 third-round picks. Sorry. This is desperation for the Commanders. They don't have a quarterback. They couldn't land Russell Wilson. They're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Desperation. This is desperation all over. Carson Wentz goes back to face his old team twice a year, his same division.
Jeff, the Cowboy fans thought they were done with him. Not yet.
Well, they're probably cheering that he's back because he's not very good. And Vegas doesn't think so either. Vegas, the odds for Washington Comrades actually went down when they made this trade for Carson Wentz. So it's not a good day for the Commanders there, the Comrades. What did I call them? I don't even know.
Comrades.
I'm gonna stick with Washington.
Here's the deal. Like, let me get back to the actual story at hand here. I'm gonna just completely ignore Carson Wentz. So a lot of people were like, okay, are you worried because your division's so tough or whatever? This is probably one of the toughest divisions now in football. No, it makes our defense better. We play against these guys twice a year. These are really, really tough quarterbacks to go up against, and really, really tough coaches to go up against. And to be able to, for our defense to be able to stop them, make it competitive, makes our defense 10 times better. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for that, our defense wouldn't be nearly as good as it is, because these guys see everything that's thrown at them multiple times a season. So it really hardens them. It prepares them for some of these other matches that I think they can, if you can work around Patrick Mahomes and Herbert, I think you can work around most quarterbacks at that point. So it just, it all kind of works out in the end and makes the team better. So I love the competitiveness. I'd rather have a competitive division than a crap division, because
if I had that real quick too.
If I had a crap division, I'd go in there and go, well, we're going to the playoffs, whatever. We get to the playoffs, and then we start going up against some of these tough teams and just getting bounced, maybe in the first, second round. And then it's like, well, we didn't really get to face anybody really this season, did we? Our schedule's not going to be, it's going to be pretty easy outside of our division because of our our record this year. It'll be a little bit of an easier schedule, but again, we have to beat the guys in our division. So
think about it this way, Jeff, and you're exactly right. First of all, you got to beat the best to be the best, right?
Yeah.
When you look at it this way, who won the Super Bowl this last year? The Rams, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were in one of the toughest divisions.
Yeah.
Those hard-fought games against their division foes taught them how to win, how to keep fighting, and to not give up against these tough opponents. I'm going to throw out the Dallas Cowboys here for a reason, Jeff. Dallas Cowboys, easy division. One of the easiest in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the second easiest. They were, 6-2 against their division, something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Outside their division, they weren't very great, very good, right? So, I mean, they had a good record, but then they go into the playoffs and lose for round one. That's exactly what you're talking about. And you're exactly right. Facing these tough opponents will get you ready for playoff football.
Even a loss to a tough opponent, as long as it was a hard fought battle, you're going to see them again. It's a very big possibility you might see that same
Right.
team at some point. So, yeah, even if it's like, oh, we lost to Kansas City. Well, did we compete? Yeah. Well, okay. So the worst case scenario, we meet them in the playoffs, right?
And then you go back and look at those games and go, well, this is what we learned, and we take that into playoffs and go from there. And I
love it. It's one more thing. Now the Bronco fans went in from year after year. Like, what are we going to do in the draft? What are we going to do in the draft? It's always about the draft. Cause I mean, this is the most exciting thing. And so, little by little chipping away. I love George Payton. I think he's an amazing general manager by far. That was the one Achilles heel. It was like, you didn't go after Love, or you not in Love, but you didn't go after,
you can have him right now.
Not Jordan Love. Who was the other guy that went to Chicago that had the
Trubisky. You're talking about
in the draft
this last year,
right?
Justin Fields.
So we skipped that on Justin Fields. We got Pat Surtain. I have no problem now. Pat Surtain is an absolute. When we got him, I'm like, we did need that. I will say, it sucks we didn't get the quarterback, but we definitely did need a cornerback. I can assure that. But I wish we would have tried to do something. Maybe he would have still been there. He probably wouldn't have. But still, besides that point, it was kind of like, what are we doing? We better have something. Like, that's the one thing. And George Payton hit almost on every one of his draft picks. And it's like, but we still don't have a quarterback. He hit on that. So now I'm like, this draft's easy. Just, plug in a couple of pieces. Go once you got a quarterback, dude. Plug in a couple of pieces.
You probably drafted tight ends. So we got rid of Noah Fant.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll probably get some in the free. We got some free agents out there too. So, So I mean, who knows, dude? I'm sure that they'll figure something out. George Payton's I fully trust him now, and until he's not general manager anymore, he is excellent.
Did you order that Russell Wilson jersey yet, Jeff?
No. I never even had a Peyton jersey. So I had a Vaughn jersey. That was it. But
you're a defensive guy. I forget.
Yeah, probably Pat Surtain. PS2.
Surtain's a beast. Is that what they call him? Patrick PS2.
Yeah, he actually has a PS2 controller, gold controller.
That's cool.
When he plays.
Well,
overall, I love it. I think it's great.
Fantastic.
It is. He's going to be here for a long time. There's pictures of him, walking around the actual place itself. He got a chance to see what our winters are like. Obviously, it's been like 8 degrees outside, snowing. So we've had a lot of that. And then it's just Aaron Rodgers. It's just trying to figure out the pricing structure of their cap room, and then also. One thing that did pop up, and I didn't think about this, is there a possibility that he doesn't trust a lot of his receivers outside of the main guy,
Adams? Here's his issue, Jeff, and I've seen it last year and I've seen it this year in the playoffs. When it gets to the playoffs, he force feeds Adams. Doesn't matter. He doesn't throw the ball around. We are actually undefeated when Devontae Adams is not playing. When he's hurt, we're undefeated because Rodgers throws the ball around. We saw it last year in the Tampa Bay game in the playoffs. He force-fed Adams, missed a wide-open Lazard in the end zone for a touchdown. Against the 49ers, 4th and 11, season on the line. What does he do? Hail Mary to Devontae Adams, double coverage. He has 2 guys wide open. Lazard's wide open. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I will call him out on that. I will call him out all day on that. And I've been on my rant about Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. All these excuses of saying, well, did you watch the game? Our special teams is horrible. If the MVP shows up in the playoffs, Jeff, and scores more than 10 points, we're not even talking special teams. Okay?
True.
So don't give me that excuse at all.
True.
He scored. Dak Prescott threw 2 touchdowns on this defense. Aaron Rodgers could only put up 1 at home. I do not want the number 1 seed ever again in Green Bay. I don't. Every time we have the number 1 seed, what do? We fail. Okay? What did we do when we won the Super Bowl? We were a wild card team, Jeff. We played every week and won. I don't want the bye week. We play horrible off byes. I want the 2nd, 3rd seed. I don't care. Do not give me the 1st seed next year, Green Bay. Please do not. Okay? Do not do it.
They're going to go undefeated, Brian. They're going to go undefeated. But yeah, like I heard that and I kind of was like, does he really just rely on Devontae Adams and hope that, you know, especially towards the end of the season or into the playoffs? And I know special teams was something I remember I watched a live stream of somebody watching the game and they were like, oh my gosh, special teams lost the game again.
It's the worst it's ever been.
Now you guys have one of the best special team coaches, I think, in the game. A lot of people said he's really good. So
the Raiders wanted him to be there because he stepped in behind John Gruden as interim head coach, and the players wanted him to be the head coach, and they went a different direction. So I'm glad from that standpoint of it that we found a guy that I think is going to really gel with these players. We got to look at Mason Crosby. He was off this year bad. We got to change kickers. We need somebody that can catch a punt consistently. Yes, we have a rookie back there dropping muffin punts, and
the sun's in his eyes.
Teams has been bad, bro. It's been bad, and the last year was horrible. We've had 4 different special team coaches in the last 4 years, so God. It's been pathetic. I don't know. I think I could coach special teams better than these guys, but.
I mean, it's just an interesting thing that the little bitty things that really kind of changed the game a little bit, and special teams coach is an important, you know, position because, you know, that's positioning the ball. That's positioning where you're going to start sometimes. That's also hanging on to the ball. And then if you drop it, guess what? The other team's got it right there. So it's just kind of a big deal. But I think this is the one thing that a lot of fans were sitting there complaining about and excited that they got.
Sorry, not to cut you off. My biggest thing in Green Bay is the cap. And can we save this defense? We're cutting our best pass rusher in Preston Smith. Zadarius Smith. He's gone. We're going to cut him soon because we don't have the money to keep him. We are going to sign back Rasul Douglas. Who we picked up off the practice squad of the Arizona Cardinals, and he had the 3rd best grade of a cornerback this season. We can't sign him back. Devontae Campbell, they were working on a deal with him, but apparently he's not going to sign. They're going to let him test free agency. He was the highest rated inside linebacker in the league, and we picked him up off the street.
He was literally a bum.
I'm like, come on, guys. Like, this is the issue and here's my problem, Jeff. One of my issues. Aaron Rodgers says, I do not want to be the highest paid quarterback. It's not about the money.
Oh, come on, man.
And then this deal comes out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He said me asking for $50 million was fake. Well, what are you getting? You're getting $50 million. In 4 years, Jeff. In 4 years, What's the excuse going to be if Aaron Rodgers can't get the job done? They didn't put a team around him. Because he's taking all the money, him and Devontae Adams. So when you have two guys taking up 25% of your cap, you're not going to win. And that goes for the history of football. If you have more than 3 or 4 guys taking up over a certain amount of percentage of your cap, you don't win Super Bowls. That's my worry. Am I excited to have him back? Yes. I love watching him play. Do I have worries that it's going to be the same old story we've seen? Yes. I'm just being honest. I'm being real.
Well, there's not an excuse now because he's got his money. And supposedly, it's interesting when you sit there and you say, okay, I want to get I want to lead this team. I'm done with this team, these organizations, and doing what I want them to do, blah, blah, blah. And now that he's signed this deal, there's no excuse anymore. And maybe that's kind of what he wants, because in 4 years, if they don't go anywhere, he's out.
Well, I think after 4 years, he's retiring.
Right. He's walking away.
He's gone
from the game. So he won't have to answer any more questions anymore about that. And I honestly think that, maybe that's an excuse. If it happens again and again and again, and you go, look, dude, they gave you what you needed. You obviously wanted to come back, because if you didn't, you had to not come back.
You wouldn't have been here, right?
So
I think he wants to stay here his whole career. I think he wants to be that one guy.
That's fine.
He said things need to change, and he's over this last year. He said things have changed, things have improved. Things have gotten better, and I think that's what he was looking for. And we'll see what goes on this next couple of years. He's also got to take into account, though, that our cap issue sucks, and we can't get every player, and we can't keep everybody that he wants to keep, and we can't bring in guys that he wants to bring in just because they're his best friend.
Stockpile draft picks. Like,
look,
because even if you stockpile some draft picks, you could bring in some young, fresh talent that's good. These drafts are not horrible. I mean, for quarterbacks, you're not going to bank on it every time, but I mean, for the most part, the drafts these guys are good, man.
Brian Gutekunst is the best GM I think we've had. I really like his drafts. He's getting killed for the Jordan Love trade, or Jordan Love pick. I cannot kill him for that. And I want you Packer fans to take into account. At that time, Aaron Rodgers was on the decline. Now, his decline is still a lot better than a lot of other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But his numbers were declining. His QBR was way down. We were looking what we thought was the end of Aaron Rodgers. So he made a decision, like a GM does, for the future of the franchise. Aaron Rodgers took that personally, like those Michael Jordan memes, and he decided to come out and play his MVP level, and he has. And it is what it is. Other than that, I love the drafts. We were Sean Gary's going to be a beast. He's a beast. He was a beast last year. He's going to be a beast this year. We're going to sign Preston Smith back. He got out. He went out and got Zadarius Smith. We're going to sign back. We're looking at retaining Jair Alexander. He's a top 3 corner in the league. He was hurt most of last season. He's a top 3 cornerback in the league. We got Stokes, second round draft pick last year. He had the highest rookie grade, or one of the highest rookie grade of the quarterback. He's finding guys. We have one of the best defensive backfields in the NFL. I love it. He's finding guys. They need to focus on finding more offensive weapons. They did draft A.J. Dillon, who's been a beast, a running back. I like this team. I think we'll be just fine. I like our GM. Like I said, he's the best drafting GM we've had. And I like the decisions he's making. He's got a lot of cap loopholes to go through, but and we'll see what he can do. But Aaron Rodgers, and I think a lot of that, Jeff, he gets the excuse of the team never helping him out. And I think that's the old regime, right? That was Ted Thompson, not going out and getting free agencies, not drafting top wide receivers. This is Brian Gutekunst. The last 2 seasons, Jeff, we've had a top 10 offense and top 10 defense. There's no excuses. There's no excuses.
Yeah. No,
last year, the season before when we lost Tampa Bay, and especially this to go in there and lose the way you did to the 49ers, was just pathetic.
No, and I completely understand that. I just think that it's finally we can have some very compelling conversations. My team is finally going to be playing some meaningful games, some competitive games. It's going to be exciting. This offense, the Broncos offense, guys have been slept on for so long. And I was listening to somebody on ESPN, and they said, "Oh no, the Broncos offensive line is worse than Seattle's was." And I'm like, think again, because I'm pretty sure we were like 12th, and Seattle was 25th. I'm pretty sure they were pretty bad. So in terms of offensive line, I think that's something the Broncos are going to definitely focus on to solidify, just to make sure we have all the pieces in play. And then they're definitely looking for edge. There's a lot of edge out there right now. So, I know Khalil Mack is out, but there's a lot more edges out there. Vaughn's still out there. So they're going to be looking at that. Bradley Chubb, he better step up this year. He better step up. He better stay healthy. We got a new coaching staff, and what's really cool about Nathaniel Hackett, I want to say this about Nathaniel Hackett, was really cool. What I really like about him, they have so many personnel, dude. So many. It's like you got the assistants coach to the assistant coach. You got like all these like pieces. You got a guy who all he does is just I think he's like he comes up with like PowerPoints. It's just one dude. All he does is come up with PowerPoints so they have a thing to go over during the week. And it's just like, it's incredible because ultimately it doesn't go against the cap. You can have many coaches you want. Doesn't hurt your cap. So I think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of really cool, and he's a cool guy, man. A lot of people here really like this guy. He's like, high energy, like, just so different. Vic Fangio was very just Belichick, and we're on to the next team.
What's interesting this season is we've seen a lot of those guys, a lot of these new guys get those opportunities, and we get to see them be head coaches. And I'm excited for Nathaniel Hackett, and I'm excited he went to your team, so we could talk about him. And this we thought last year was a quarterback carousel. Well, this year, Jeff, we got Aaron Rodgers staying. We got Russell Wilson on the move. Look at the teams, Jeff, that still need quarterbacks.
As of today,
Indy.
Watson.
Oh, well, hold on.
Okay.
That's in the headlines, Jeff. Don't be throwing that away there, Jeff. All right, look, real quick here. These are quarterback questions still brewing in the NFL. What are they going to do? Indianapolis Colts have a good team. They just traded away Carson Wentz. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who's their quarterback? Their old Big Ben retired. The Saints, what is going on in New Orleans? The Buccaneers, Tom Brady just left. What are they doing? Seattle, I'm guessing they're going to start Drew Lock, but he's not a good quarterback.
Oh, they're probably going to draft somebody on. I think personally,
probably 49ers,
Carson Strong or something.
49ers. Are they keeping Jimmy? Jimmy's been on the trading block for like 2 years now. Are they going to trade Jimmy? I believe Jimmy Garoppolo will be somewhere else when they'll start the Trey Lance there. All those teams right there need a quarterback, Jeff. Who signs Jameis Winston? Hey, did you see the video of Colin Kaepernick? He's still training.
Back. He's coming back. 5 years? Has it been 5?
It's been like 6 or 7. It's been since 2016.
Golly, dude, how the heck is? I mean, come on. I mean, I get it, but I mean, if he can, here's the deal. Why don't you
Jeff,
try?
He's not coming back, buddy.
Why don't you try? Why doesn't he just try out though? Like, just go on to walk on.
You know why he can't try out?
Why?
Well, for a long time he was blackballed. I do agree with that.
Right.
But when they said, "Okay, we'll give you a tryout," he hijacked the tryout. He was supposed to come meet and try out, and he hijacked the tryout, changed the time and location of it, and he doesn't want to play football. This is all just PR crap for him, and he's not going to play football ever again. but I just thought it was laughable when we see the videos of
Yeah.
three-step drop. I'm
I've
like,
been
bro, get
I've
outta
been
here.
prepared. It's like, what?
I'm gonna go record myself with a 3-step drop and throw a dart and be like, I'm still practicing, guys.
Yeah.
I'm still working out.
Since high
Who
school.
wants to sign me? Ridiculous. All right, Jeff. Well, that was our very long, awesome conversation about the Russell Wilson trade, blockbuster move, Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay, Carson Wentz. This is Carson Wentz's last shot, Jeff, where he's going to be a backup quarterback journeyman around the NFL. Quarterback questions everywhere. My Packers and your Broncos got those quarterback questions answered, and we can finally move on towards next season. Mine's been drama for years. For the last 2 years, is Rodgers want to be here? Is he dedicated? Where is he going to go? Should we trade him? Should we keep him? What can we get? And I'm glad the headache is gone, and we can focus on football.
Right. Yeah. And ultimately it's just, I mean, this was a big week for the NFL, especially free agency. And this trade with the Broncos and Seahawks is one of the biggest NFL or sports trades ever. I think they even mentioned that Herschel Walker was the last time that any trade like this to this magnitude happened. Because if you think about it, even Peyton Manning, that was a free agent. He could go anywhere. So
all right, Jeff. Well, it is that time. Let's go ahead and jump into the headlines of the week. All right, Jeff. Well, I floated around today looking for the headlines that broke out this week, and number one, Jeff, we've got to talk about it. MLB is back. The MLB is back. We will have 162 games of baseball this year. Both sides agreeing to a new CBA deal. Fantastic news. I am actually excited for Ranger baseball for once in the last 3 or 4 years. I'm excited. I'm going to go to the new stadium and watch them. I think they're going to put a good effort out there on the field this year. They've got some good guys coming in. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Well, yeah, and currently now that that's over, there's a frenzy.
Oh, dude, people are signing left
going
and right.
on, and yeah,
Yes.
so it's just absolutely incredible. I'm so ready for baseball. I almost said football. I'm so ready. I'm ready for both now.
We're always ready for football. Oh, I bet you are. You're probably dying.
I am. I'm actually a little nervous for the first game because I'm sure we're gonna play somebody insane. But yeah, like it just, to me, it's this is absolutely my number one sport outside of football, and baseball is my favorite. It's an interesting sport. It's very different, and I love it. I'm so glad to get this going. We missed a couple
They're
games.
gonna fit
supposedly fix those in, fit them in. I think one of them actually is against for the Yankees, at least. I think one of them's against the Rangers. I think it was who was the guy that Michael Kay, who's play-by-play for the Yes Network and the Yankee games. He, I think, mentioned at one point maybe a home game for the Rangers at Yankee Stadium, something weird.
What?
So yeah.
Well, we're going to go through some of the changes, some of the rules that we're going to get into here for the new CBA that's come down. First of all, opening day will be April 7th. So mark that on your calendar and get out there and watch the baseball games. And it's pretty interesting for me because I really like baseball. My number one love is football, and then baseball and basketball. And I've fell into really just basketball was my number 2, baseball was number 3. But over the last couple of years, I've shifted that. I feel a little bit out of love with basketball, and baseball's been my next sport to watch, especially going into this season. But so April 7th is opening day. We'll look at there's going to be 12 teams in the playoffs, not 10. There's going to be 12, so they changed that up. And I love this rule, Jeff. The universal DH. Love it.
No more pitchers hitting people.
No one wants to see a pitcher swing and miss 3 times and walk back to the dugout.
Unless you're Ohtani. Yeah.
Oh, well, he's a beast. Yeah. It's a good point you bring up, because do you want him as a hitter or do you want him as a pitcher? Because he can't do both, right? He can't.
Yeah.
He can't go into a National League ballpark now and be a dual threat like that as far as hitting the ball. So that's very interesting. And he is the new cover of the
MLB
new
The Show.
MLB The Show. So that's awesome. And what a fantastic season he had last year. And I don't think he got enough of the publicity and the stardom that he does.
I have
deserve.
a little concerns with it. I think that this is maybe a flash in the pan. When it comes to Ohtani, I think eventually something will creep up on him. They put a lot of
injury.
Well. When it comes to like
he's already been injured too.
When it comes to Japanese baseball, they put a lot. These guys take a long time to get here, and then during that time, they play a lot. Like there's a lot of miles on their arm at that point. So when it comes to like a dual person who hasn't been one in a very long time. I don't even know when.
He's
Babe
had
Ruth, maybe.
But
like you got to also take into consideration, could Babe Ruth do what he did back then today? Probably not.
No.
So it's a lot, and you run that risk of he's already been hurt a few times. I just wonder how long his career really is. Personally, I just do. I think that eventually maybe it will come down to the point where, dude, you can't do both. You got to pick one because you're destroying yourself.
Well, I'm enjoying watching it right now.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch him play, and he's in my division.
He definitely is exciting to watch because I think he's bringing a lot of more eyes to the game, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's I like the 12 team playoff. I think that adds get more people, more opportunities in there. When it comes to baseball, that's all you need. All it takes is one good run towards the end, and
Look at the Braves last year. They were horrible at the beginning. They were horrible at the All-Star break, and they turned it on.
There's also a few more things in this that are interesting. I don't know if you put it on here or not, but there are
no more shifts.
No more shifts. That's
fantastic.
That's going to change.
Idea.
That changes the game, guys.
I want Joey Gallo back. Joey Gallo is a beast now without no shifts.
Right. Who knows?
And then the only thing else I have in is the no runner on second, extra innings, and double headers are back to 9 innings instead of 7.
Yes.
So
yes. So here's the deal. I did not like the man on second to start extra innings. Absolute garbage. We lost so many games last year because of some garbage trash like that, where all it took was one hit, and then you're already losing. And you're sitting there going, what? Like, one hit? And you didn't even have to earn that guy on second base. Even if you put a guy on first base, fine. You got to go all the way around. I get that. But when you put him on second, that's instant scoring position. That ends the game right there. And it's just it's absolute garbage.
Here's a dumb
So
part.
many teams lost games, including the Yankees. We lost probably 20, 30 games like that. And it was just like, what is going on with this?
Well, they did it because the players hated it. And I understand. And the thing about it is they're doing these things to try and change baseball and try and make it more interesting and faster paced. And the only way that's going to happen is if you take away some games, 162 games. Until you do that, you're not going to add any more viewers to baseball, changing up a rule here or there. It's you play 162 games, okay? A lot of them don't matter. That's it. And until just leave baseball alone. And you know what they need to do a better job of, Jeff, and I've complained about this a lot. There's two things. One, their marketing is horrible. We know the stars in basketball. We know the stars in the NFL. Can you tell me the stars and what they look like? If Aaron Judge you could tell me who Aaron Judge was, but there's probably a lot of people out there who have no idea who Aaron Judge is, who Mike Trout is. What is Mike Trout, the best baseball player in the MLB? What does he even sound like, Jeff? You know all that stuff in the NFL. We know what Tom Brady looks like. We know what LeBron James, Kevin Durant, all these superstars. Baseball they don't do that.
That
So
may change with
marketing
this. That may change with
is a
this.
big thing. Number 2, they talk about viewers. I can't turn on my local station anymore and watch a baseball game, Jeff. I can't turn on channel 21 like I did back in the day and watch the Rangers play. I got to have Bally Total Sports. I'm like, so if I don't have the special package, I can't watch my local team play. That's some BS too. And that's the problem is they sign these mega deals with certain networks, and then you got to have that network and pay extra money to watch your freaking team play.
Well, and
So annoying.
it's not like you can get at bat because it's all blacked out.
Yeah,
Local
it's
blackouts.
dumb.
So it's
It's dumb. I'm
kind of
like,
it's
that
crazy.
frustrates me. Big
It's
time.
crazy. I don't know if they're ever going to get rid of. I don't know how they would really combat that too much. Maybe they start having more games on local games, especially affiliates with like Fox or like whatever. They do have games throughout the season that are on like our Fox. NBC's typically playoff baseball.
Yeah.
So you don't really, and TBS. But yeah, it's whatever. And it's usually National League. But yeah, it's like this is going to be different. They're actually adding players can add decals to their to their stuff and have advertisements basically, which is kind of interesting. Players get paid for that, I'm sure. So that's going to make them happy. There's also some rules about tanking. They're going to basically get rid of that kind of nonsense. They aren't going to have teams just lose for the heck of it, just to do it.
Draft's a lottery now.
Draft's a lottery, which is very interesting. It's very much like the NBA.
I think hate that.
Yeah, I know. But it prevents from tanking. I get that though. Their teams will do that. They'll tank just to get those picks. NFL probably is going to be next. That'll be crazy.
NFL ain't changing.
So but there's also rules for low market teams to actually spend money. There's been things in place for a number of years where low market teams would literally not spend a dime, so they would be making a lot more money, and their teams would be falling apart. The Colorado Rockies is a perfect example of that. And so now they're going to be forced to.
Good.
Which is going to make everybody better, which is going to make these teams more competitive. You're going to start seeing actually teams spending money. That's why this free agency fiasco is pretty interesting because it's going to be a lot of craziness going on. I think as of today, there was a rumor that Clayton Kershaw was coming to the Rangers. He has now signed a 1-year deal with the Dodgers. So he's not coming today. He's not coming to the Rangers. I don't know why he just signed a 1-year deal, but
well, that was the thing is what they were talking about him coming there. Well, first of all, he's from Texas, and that was the thing is if we gave him a 3-year deal because they said Dodgers are only going to give him a 1-year deal. If we gave him a 3-year deal, maybe he want that stability and come here. But he signed a 1-year deal there, and I get it. They're a championship team. My interesting thing with him is Trevor Bauer coming back.
Yeah.
Is Trevor Bauer coming back? Does he want to play for the team that kind of hung him out to dry?
It's interesting. They got to get this stuff quick, though. You got spring training starts in like 6 days, something insane. Players have to report at that point. There's actually, as of today, is voluntary reporting to spring training.
Yeah,
that's just crazy. There's so much they got to do. All these GMs are going to be running around with their like a chicken with their heads cut off, and it's just going to be absolute insanity. It's going to be interesting to watch because a lot of Yankee fans just like bring out the money, just start spending, just do it. This is one of the teams that can literally just spend money, and it doesn't really hurt them. Because they are worth so much and they have so much of it. So, a lot of people are like, penny pinching Steinbrenner, stop doing it. Like how just go and do it. Just spend money, get what you need. Freddie Freeman, go get him. Like all these stuff. So it's just.
No, Freddie Freeman needs to stay with the Braves.
I don't know. He may not.
He needs to stay with the Braves. My thing, Jeff, is, and that's why that was my biggest thing with the Rangers. They never spend money. They don't spend it. They
don't have to.
They're in a big market. Dallas-Fort Worth is a big market, but they act like they're a small market. I'm like, you're not a small market. Spend some motherfucking money. Okay. They finally spent some money. We got Corey Seager from the Dodgers. That blew me away. I was like, oh my gosh. We signed Corey Seager. Freaking awesome. Then we got Simeon. We signed a pretty decent pitcher. I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's put some pieces together. Now I'll go out I'll go out and see. We got some young players. I'm excited for baseball this year, Jeff. Super excited for baseball.
Yeah, me too. Definitely ready to see some games. I actually have the MLB at bat. I only have like the small thing, but as there's some more pieces coming in and I start seeing exactly what this team looks like, I'll probably pony up the dough and get to the higher tiers so that I can watch my games, man. Because of course I don't live in New York, so I've never been able to watch them.
All right, Jeff. Well, we're going to jump back in the NFL with the next couple stories here. So real quick, we talked about trades earlier on the quarterbacks. Well, the Bears traded Khalil Mack the other day. They traded Khalil Mack to the Chargers for a second-round pick and a sixth-round pick. This is a good pickup for them. He's going to add them on the other side of Joey Bosa. Was this a like, oh man, we just got another great quarterback in our division. We need to get some pressure on him. Let's sign him.
I'm sure, but I'm sure the deal was in the works for weeks. So.
Now Khalil Mack was a waste in Chicago. They wasted him. They weren't a good team. He was their defense for a while. They added on overrated. What's his name? Oh, he played with the Dallas. He played one good year with the Dallas Cowboys. The Bears ponied up all this dough for him, and he didn't do anything the next season for the Chicago Bears. He was there for 4 years. He's a good player. I think having Bosa on the other side, a real threat, will give him, because Khalil Mack was double teamed all the time. So I think this will
happen to Vaughn
more.
That happened to Vaughn for a few years.
I think this will open him up.
Marcus Ware.
I think this will open up the Khalil Mack to be able to get the quarterbacks. And he's still a good football player, but he is getting older. He's 31. He was injured a lot last season, so we'll see if it pans out. But I think it's a cheap find, and especially if Khalil Mack can come in here and get close to 10 sacks and put pressure on the quarterback, I think it's pretty good for the Los Angeles Chargers. Big news today, Jeff. I'm going to jump down here to the Deshaun Watson news. Deshaun Watson. News broke today that Deshaun Watson will face no criminal charges against him for the court proceedings that took place this morning. Deshaun Watson has been found not guilty, will face nothing. No charges dropped or charged against him. No time, nothing. Does this open up his ability to be traded? Does someone finally take a shot at him? We've had teams come out and say, Miami said, nope, the door's been shut. Steelers said, we do not want Deshaun Watson. Why?
Someone's going to take him. I'm guarantee you somebody's going to take him.
Someone will take him. He's too dang good of a quarterback. Now, look, only God. No, they have their rookie. Mm-hmm. Only God, Deshaun Watson, and those women actually know what happened in those rooms. He is cleared from the court system. That is good enough for me. Somebody pick him up, and they will, because he's too dang good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's got to be a trade because Houston still has his rights. I just don't see why teams would be like, I'm done with him. I don't like, you haven't found out any criminal charges. And look, if Deshaun,
you said the Steelers are out of it.
Yeah, Steelers said they don't want anything to do with it.
Really? Okay.
Which makes no sense. I think if he goes there, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Oh God.
They have a great defense. Yeah, Deshaun Watson there. I could see him going to Indianapolis. I think that'd be a good team for him to go to.
I could see him going to Philly. Philly would just, oh man, they would be up in arms, and then you would have the Cowboy, and that would challenge that division. I'm telling you, you want a challenging division. There you go. You got Deshaun Watson to deal with.
And they've already tried to pony up 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, so they would give that and more for Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah.
This is great news for him. And look, there was part of me that said, just settle with these girls so you can move on from this. Now, when you settle, there's some people out there who can be like, oh, yeah, he did it, right? That makes me think, oh, he did all these things. If he truly didn't do anything wrong, all respect for fighting it, right? All
Right.
respect for going down this road to clear your name. Kudos to him. And if he didn't do anything wrong, the courts found nothing wrong. Kudos to him. Let him play football, and someone will pick him up. Someone will be smart enough to make that trade. And I just don't know why the Steelers would say they're out. I don't know why Miami would say they're out.
The Washington Commanders are just like,
oh, yeah.
Like, oh, no. Because, I mean, they look at it and they're like, oh, we just traded for Carson Wentz, and this dude's already found not guilty. And now he's like, I mean, it's just and again, we're also not talking about the Giants.
The Giants could pick him up.
I mean, do you think that they're really just sitting there like, oh, no, we got our guy? I don't think so.
No, they tried trading him away.
Yeah.
Him and Saquon Barkley.
The
Carolina Panthers.
I definitely think. And where did they end up in terms of pick this year? Because I mean, they could easily trade
Houston?
their first. Yeah, they could trade their first round pick.
Oh,
no.
They're high up.
Giants.
Oh, I'm not sure. They were bad.
So yeah, I mean, I guarantee you give.
They have 2 first-round picks in the top 10, I believe, and so do the Eagles.
They could trade those first-round picks. It's going to be a bidding war, I think, between the Eagles and the Giants. Somehow, I think Deshaun Watson's coming to the Cowboy division. I don't know why.
I think the Eagles would be a good pickup. Well, here's the thing: the Eagles are going to waste their time with Hurts. I think they're not ready to move on from him. I think, and I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think they're wasting their time. I don't think they're gonna move on from him this early though, and that'd be a mistake. Now they try to get Russell Wilson, but I don't know. Maybe they do try and trade for him. That'd be awesome.
I think that's one of the problems. He didn't want to go there.
I think it'd be awesome if he did go to the Eagles, or if he did go to the. Well, I don't care about the Giants really. I don't care about the Eagles. I think we need someone to challenge the Dallas Cowboys.
We definitely need somebody to challenge the Cowboys, and I think Deshaun Watson would be that kind of person.
They would worry if Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah.
Was in their
division. Oh
yeah. And going back to that Russell Wilson trade, you know what's even funnier about that? The Seattle Seahawks. It's not like they're getting more first-round picks. They've already traded. They traded those first-round picks for Jamal Adams, who's a big bust of a safety who can't cover the red side of a barn. So they're just recouping what they got rid of. They're not adding, So that's kind of funny. But I hope Deshaun Watson gets picked up by somebody, and I hope he does fantastic. I would like to see him go to the Steelers. Heck, go to the AFC, buddy. Stay out of the NFC. I'll enjoy that all day.
It goes to Chicago.
Oh gosh, no, they just had Justin Fields. They're gonna waste their time with him too.
Yeah.
All right,
he's
Jeff,
gonna go to the 49ers. Oh god.
Hey, actually, you want to talk about that? There's rumors that Tom Brady is going to the 49ers. And actually, Vegas odds have the 49ers very high to win the Super Bowl because they believe there's people that really believe that Tom Brady forced his way to retirement out of Tampa Bay so he could go to the 49ers. So interesting.
That was his team growing up, wasn't it?
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that he gets hit by a car. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Just joking, guys.
Because Brian just don't want to face him again.
I don't. Anybody but Tom flipping Brady, man. I swear.
Especially any team, you're like, really the 49ers?
That's a double whammy. Aaron Rodgers is like 0-80 against them. All right, Jeff. Well, interesting news broke this week, and next week's spotlight is going to be one that I thought of. It's going to be some questions and answers we've talked about to
those Cowboy fans out there.
Look, it could be Cowboys. It depends. It's either going to be the debacle of an offseason that the Dallas Cowboys have had because it's been a dang debacle and they can't stay out of the news for good or for bad. Well, not for good. They haven't done anything good. It's all been bad. Or it's going to be a different one, and I think it's going to be that's going to be a good topic to talk about. Answers. So what did I call it? You'll see. But it could be Dallas Cowboys. It depends. I'm waiting for some shoes to drop on that before I figure out what we're gonna do with that. But Very interesting news. Jerry Jones is being sued by his apparent 25-year-old daughter after she says that her mom signed a confidentiality agreement to basically say, I don't say I'm your father, basically. Pay to get rid of me. And I will pay you I will give you money. I will make some payments to you. Just hush on the side. I don't want to visit you for Christmas. I don't want anything to do with you, even though you live down the street. All right. This is a horrible look for Jerry Jones. Jones denied at the time that he is the father, but he paid this woman, the mother, $375,000 to keep quiet. And his lawyer set up 2 trust funds. Now, everyone's kind of wondering, why now, right? And think about the time. First of all, think about the timeline, Jeff. How long has it been since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl? 25 years? She's 25 years old. That the last time they won a Super Bowl, Jerry Jones cheated on his wife with this lady and had a baby. Now, everyone's kind of wondering, why now? She's just looking for money. I don't think that's the case, Jeff. She's supposed to get paid. She's 25. She's getting payments at 22, 24, 26, and 28. She still has 2 more payments to go. That I'm guessing since she came out and said this, those payments aren't coming anymore since she broke that confidentiality agreement. I don't know. She's been a very successful lady. Her mom's been a little crazy. There's that. I heard someone needs to write a book on this lady. First of all, they've been on TV shows together, mom and daughter. There's a story about how her and her boyfriend were arguing, right? They were driving down the road arguing, and before she got home, they pulled over because she didn't want to argue in front of her daughter. They pulled over, and she says some man came over and just shot her boyfriend. Like, what? Well, actually, on the radio show today, they had this lady. I know I'm getting on a little bit off topic, but it involves the mother of this daughter. This guy comes on the radio and he's like, I know this happened because I'm the guy that shot the boyfriend. And they're like, what? So
Oh,
I kid you not. And this guy says, and they're like, well, what happened? And he's like, I'm in this parking lot and this guy is dragging her by her hair across the parking lot and she's screaming, help me. Please help me. And I shot my gun and I shot this guy in the chest to save this woman. And then the woman turns around and says that the guy just shot her boyfriend out of the blue for no apparent reason. And he ended up going to jail. He set 7 months of jail trying to prove his innocence. And it ruined it like a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world? True story. But anyways, back to the daughter. So the daughter, why would she say this now? She's supposed to have 2 more payments coming. Her mom is apparently really ill, so maybe she's looking for something. But her case is basically saying, her case for this whole thing is, how can I, as a 1-year-old, be held to a confidentiality agreement that my mom signed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that something that can be legally binding? You know what I mean? So, not a good look for Jerry Jones. This doesn't affect the NFL side of it at all. This is just a moral part of it. This is that moral compass that we have. And it's just not a good look for Jerry Jones. Period. Point blank. And then you got the Rich Dalrymple story of him taking pictures of his daughter up his daughter's skirt and goes, well, heck, if he could have a kid over here and not pay her some money to shut up and sit in the corner, is Rich Dalrymple really, did he really do that and Jerry not really give a damn? You know what I mean? Like, it just brings up a lot of questions. But
So
it's a crazy story. Insane.
there's a new soap opera out. Okay.
It's called Dallas.
It's not called Dallas. It's Dallas. It's the Cowboy General Hospital, or we have all Jerry's children, or we got all these different things, right? And the Cowboys are always right there. This is just an absolute soap opera of a franchise. There is always something going on. There's always something, and we haven't even gotten to the meat of everything, which we have to go on an entire episode really about, which is insane if you think about it. And so this is how much of a train wreck of a franchise this has turned into. And if this is true, would anyone even be surprised?
Right.
Like I heard this, and you have some people online, you have some diehard Cowboy YouTubers out there that I've watched talk about this and just completely downplay it. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, if this is true, which you can obviously prove with a test, okay? Maury Povich does it all the time. I'm pretty sure they can figure it out. And maybe they'll be on Maury Povich. Who knows? Maybe they'll go on to Dr. Phil. Maybe they'll do it on Dr. Phil's show. You got the Jerry family sitting there, Okay. So if that happens, well, if that doesn't, it won't happen. But if when we find out the actual truth about this, hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's nothing at all. Because if it is something, that's just a mess, another absolute train wreck of a situation that the Cowboys put themselves into. And now it's not even the players, it's the freaking owner.
Right.
So
that's my, like, when I heard this story, I started thinking about, it's like your manager coming up to you and getting on to you about something. Don't do that again. And you turn around and you see your manager do something like that and 10 times worse. And you're like, how am I supposed to? This guy's talking to me about showing up every day, 100% dedication, all this stuff. This is what it means to be a Cowboy. And you're out here having kids with other women and doing this and that. And you're expecting me to respect you at the end of the day. It's just like, it's that fine line. And look, I've heard stories about Jerry Jones and with plenty of women on the bus and all this stuff.
There's a photograph.
Yes,
there's a photograph of him
cocaine
at some
stripper bus.
Yeah,
this does not surprise me one bit. I just think it's a terrible look, and then we're not talking about this. People are like, "Oh, Jerry Jones, he needs to have a football team taken away." It's not gonna happen. This does nothing to affect football.
No, it looks bad on the organization because yes. I don't want to sit here and listen. I don't think it. First of all, there's a lot of Cowboy YouTubers that I've listened to that'll sit there and they'll laugh and mock, right? The Washington Commanders, right? Because of the way they're ran and all this stuff. If this is true, I don't want to hear it anymore at all. About how you're making fun of them. Oh, look what a trash organization they are. You don't have any room to talk. I mean, we open the freaking page every week. There's always something going on, always, and it's just kind of like eventually, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be considered like the Washington Commanders.
Just with more money. That's basically all it comes
bigger
down
market,
to,
more money. That's it. But you're the same. You're the same.
Exactly right.
You're starting to become that cesspool of just not toxic crap, And it's just like anything that touches that, anything in that organization, and any that organization touches just turns into junk, And so, I don't want to hear it. Your organization is not ran good. Don't sit there and throw stones at glass houses when you have the biggest glass house of them all.
So. You're exactly right. All right. Well, the fifth and final headline of the week here, Jeff, is basketball news. And we haven't talked much about basketball yet. I know that's been on me. We'll get into that. But Ben Simmons is now a Brooklyn Net, right? They face the 76ers, Ben Simmons' old team, for the first time since Ben Simmons returned to Philly Finally, now he wasn't playing. He was in street clothes. But the Philly fans let him have it.
You mean he was looking like LeBron James eating popcorn?
Yes. Not giving a dang about nothing. They chanted out to Jeff F. Ben Simmons, but it wasn't censored, okay?
They
During
didn't
the
beep
game,
themselves.
they no.
Beep,
Ben Simmons.
Oh God.
Yes, I think he deserves it. Good job, Philly fans. This guy's faked mental health issues just to get out of Philly. I honestly believe that. Couldn't handle it. He changed his phone number, Jeff. When Philadelphia was trying to call him in the offseason, he just changed his phone number. What a jerk. What a jerk move that. Have some balls. Answer the phone. I'm not coming back. Quit calling me. Trade me. Something. What a coward. He goes, sits on the bench, gets yelled at. He made a layup in street clothes, and they were cheering him on because he couldn't make up a layup. He gave up his layup at the 76ers because he was too scared to shoot it. This guy is to me, he's a coward. I don't like him. I can't stand the Nets, so it kind of goes hand in hand there. But I just think it's great. Philly fans finally got it right here of booing, screaming, cussing out Ben Simmons as he sits the bench. And they asked Durant about it, and Durant basically said, I'm not going to hold his hand. We make $40 million. I make $40 million a year. Where he can sit there for a couple hours. He'll be all right. So it's kind of funny. But, yeah. I don't know if you have any input on there, but that's how I feel. But I think he faked the mental health issues to leave, and I believe that honestly. But
sucks for him. Sorry you got booed, but
I would have been there booing him too. I don't know if I'd have been yelling out the F-bomb, but
yeah,
definitely would have been booing him. I'll boo A-Rod when he came back and played against the Rangers. I think we're still paying his contract.
Oh God.
Oh, get out of here.
You are still paying his contract. That's the
I think we are. I think we got like 2 years left.
God.
Which is insane. Speaking of basketball, Jeff, let's get into that for a second here. And I don't have any notes on it. The Lakers are trash. Straight up trash. I can't stand LeBron James.
LeBron James is sitting there on the sidelines, injured or not. I have no idea. We assume he's hurt. He said he was sore. Looking like the Unabomber. Okay? Freaking shades and incognito with the whole hoodie and drawn and everything.
He didn't care anymore. That's it. I told people the Russell Westbrook trade would not work. They thought I was crazy. My buddy was like, "Oh man,
he
gonna be
wanted
great."
the trade.
It was horrible. And he
wanted the trade.
Not my biggest issue with LeBron. It is an issue I have with him. LeBron gets the credit when the teams that he puts together, because he is the GM on every team he goes to, when they win, he gets the credit. Oh, LeBron put this team together. LeBron's a GOAT. But when he loses and the team that he put together is trash and it falls apart, oh, well, management, they didn't trade this guy like I told them, and management, blah, blah, blah. No, LeBron, this is on you. This failure is on you. Anthony Davis is as soft as toilet paper, okay? He's got glass bones. And Russell Wilson.
He was in the film Glass. So.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook over here, his feelings are as soft as cottonelle. He's over here yelling at fans because they're calling him Russell Westbrook. I can't bring my family to the games. Gosh, Jeff. Bunch of buttercups playing out there. You got LeBron James who puts up 50 points, okay? And he looks over at Matthew Stafford, who's at the game, and he's like, I got to put a show on because you're here. How about you put a show on him? And how about you play the game every night like that?
I will say, though, he's leading in scoring and a bunch of other categories this season. So he's statistically LeBron James is having
for the Lakers. Of course he
yes,
is. Well,
yeah,
of course. Who
yeah.
else do we have?
No. He's leading in categories this year. Like statistically,
he's having
statistically he's having a insane season.
I don't believe that. I gotta look this up, Jeff, because I don't believe it one bit.
I think they were talking about ESPN or something, but yeah, statistically, he's having a great season, and it's like it's for nod because nobody else is doing.
It's for nod because the team he put together sucks. He put it together, and it sucks. I'm gonna look this up, Jeff, because I do not believe this one bit.
I'm pretty sure that he's leading in a few categories, and it's like they think that he could, if he wins MVP, how weird would that be?
They ain't gonna win MVP. This team might not even make the playoffs. Yeah, this team might not even make the play-in game. And talking about MVP. Anyways, talk about your Dallas Mavericks there when I look this up. Because Dallas Mavericks have been on.
We lost. We snapped a 5-game win streak. We had to lose some point. And
you got blown out by the Knicks, but
whatever.
You can't win every one of them.
I mean, you're gonna have games like that. I think even Jason Kidd's like, it'll just move on to the next game. So, they're playing pretty. I mean, honestly, since that trade, they've been insane. Luka's just playing lights out. He's, at one point they didn't even play him in a game and they still won. They're beating some really good teams. They're beating the Jazz. They're beating Golden State. Beat Golden State twice. Once without Klay Thompson. Was it Klay Thompson? Who's the
other guy?
Klay Thompson?
In what? The Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond
Green didn't play in either, but Klay Thompson did play in one of them, and they still beat him. So they're, with that said, I mean, they're seems like they're playing well, they're gelling well. The Suns they clinched, so I'm just like, geez.
The Suns are really good.
They're really good. So
they're doing it without. They're doing it without
Booker.
Not Booker. Not Booker. Paul.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's injured again, and they say he might be back for playoffs. But
I mean, they're good. The Suns are good. I mean, that's so far the top 5 teams, and the Mavericks are in the top 5. So it's exciting. It's interesting. I think that Luka is learning more and more. I like Jason Kidd. Thank you, Lakers, for not signing him as your head coach. That was probably a horrible move. I think LeBron even mentioned that at one point. So he said that was a bad. He said that was a bad idea.
Vogel will be gone next year, but we weren't ready to get rid of Vogel. He did. I mean,
Jason Kidd's good. Jason Kidd's he's hitting all the right spots. He's putting people in right positions. I think he's even benching people when they're just not hitting. And he's not afraid.
Jason Kidd, to me, well, you never know really until he goes there, but didn't think he's gonna be a good coach. Look at his history; he was a horrible coach. He was on the bench. I guess he learned some things, learned how to treat players better. I think that was one of his biggest things when he was at Milwaukee and other places, the Brooklyn Nets. But no, I mean, I'm glad it's working out there so far. Luka, and the trade they made was fantastic for them. These guys, Dinwiddie's been playing outside his mind. He's been playing like career highs. So that'll come to means will come to an end at some point, and he'll come back down to average or his averages. But
a lot of it also is the fact that he's playing on a team that's exciting. This
is a good team. Do they beat? They were talking about the other day. Do they beat Utah in a 7-game series in the playoffs? Probably not. And that's probably who they're going to play for round 1 if they finish today. But I love watching Luka, man. I love watching him play. He's a beast.
I always look at it this way, and this is what I always say about analysts. And every time my team gets denied, like, oh no, they're going to be garbage. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to lose this series. They end up proving people wrong. It happened against the Miami Heat and the super team that happened with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. We ended up winning that, and we were supposed to lose each series. We were going to lose, right? We were going to lose to the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. We were going to lose to San Antonio. We were going to lose to you just name it. Went to every series. We were going to lose, right? We're going to lose to OKC. We didn't lose to them, and that was when they had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, and that was when Westbrook was actually good. So it was just like, with all that being said, same thing that happened with the Broncos when they went in Super Bowl 50 and won. It was like, nope, they're going to lose to Tom Brady. That's it. That's when it's over, guys. It's over. Once they play against Tom Brady, we beat Tom Brady. We go to the Super Bowl. Oh, nope, they're going to hit Superman. They're going to, and that's it. And we beat them. And so it's just like, I look at it like this. Luka does well, I think, when people are doubting him. And it's going to be interesting. Don't sleep on this team just because, what you have seen in the past is one thing versus, I think this team could definitely surprise some teams. And this definitely is a sleeper team. I honestly will even say, like, this, just like how the Suns were kind of a weird sleeper team last year and they came out of nowhere. It's kind of like that, in a lot of ways. Do they have all the talent that the Suns have? Maybe not. But again, all it takes is being on fire at the right time. And Mavs have been streaky this year, and they've gone on long streaks. So, yeah, I really wouldn't doubt this team, and I think they could surprise some people.
Who knows? We'll see. I don't think they're NBA championship contenders,
but we never know. You never know.
You never know what will happen. I think it depends on who they play first round, but they might win one series and be out again. I don't think they're going past second round, in my opinion. But
I don't know. I think the Lakers are winning the whole thing. But
my team is a crap show, to say the least. You know what's even funnier is because LeBron came out and was like, "Yeah, I want to play with my son my last year." And
everyone's trying to draft his son.
They were talking about going to Cleveland. Well, first of all, his son's not going to be a first-round draft pick. Okay? And no one wants a 47-year-old LeBron James. But they were talking about Cleveland. They're like, "Oh, man, I'm going back, maybe a Cleveland reunion." Rumor was that Cleveland was like, "No, we don't want LeBron James."
Oh.
Why will we take – yeah, I'm like, why will we take LeBron? And they were talking about how they because the Cleveland Cavaliers are like the third best team in the East right now. They're actually playing really well.
Wow,
yes.
wow.
And they've built through the draft, and they've built through themselves. And like, we don't want LeBron James coming here and trying to demand we get rid of players and do all this stuff. So I think that's kind of funny when he talks about.
There's also rumors that he had an argument with Jeannie Buss.
Oh, Jeannie Buss. Yeah. They said Jeannie Buss.
Phil Jackson. There's all these talks about Phil Jackson now. It's like talking to some of the team. And
bring Phil Jackson back. Please. This team hasn't been good since Phil Jackson left.
Bring the basketball guru back, Brian.
Yes, please. No, Jeannie Buss told LeBron James, stood up to him, said no. He wanted him to trade Westbrook for who was it? I forget his name. A nobody. A guy that's the guy in Houston. I forget his freak. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? And Jeannie Buss said, no, we aren't trading Westbrook for this guy. I'm not doing it. Why? That guy's not any good either. So, which I'm glad. Glad you did that. But I knew the Westbrook wasn't going to work out. He doesn't play well with others. We traded away a bunch of our core to get him, and we have nobody. And Anthony Davis I don't know when the last time he played was, but he's been hurt, and it's just been a debacle of a season, and it all falls on the GM, LeBron James.
The GM. No, the GM is Magic Johnson. All right, we already know what's going on.
Speaking of Lakers, Showtime is out. The Showtime, actually, it's called Winning Time because HBO is doing it, and they couldn't have Showtime Lakers.
I kind of thought that was. I thought that
That's
was
exactly what it is.
because I always thought it's Showtime, and I'm like,
HBO couldn't have Showtime named on there because it's the Showtime as their competitor. So it's the Winning Time Lakers. I'm actually I'll be watching that this week. Heck, that's it. Let's go ahead and get into our what's in my locker, and I'll go ahead and start this time since we're already talking about it. My locker this week, I'm starting vacation. So much needed, Jeff. I'm starting my vacation this week. A good week off of work is going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of a staycation. We're going to visit some family. Sunday, we're going to Mansfield, that 30 minutes down the street here. Visit family, hang out with them. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to drive East Texas. Not even sure what city it is, but I got a brother-in-law and sister-in-law here that have about, I think, 200 acres of land, Jeff. So go out there with the kiddos and spend the night and have some fun out there. Going to see Batman this week, definitely. A movie that I must watch. A movie that I must watch. Jeff, let me ask you that question. Have you seen it yet?
yes,
Oh, you son of a... Good or not good?
it's good, but you have to, but you have to set your expectations. That's all. You have to set your expectations because it is not like any Batman movie you've ever seen.
Yes.
It is a different kind of movie. It is not what you think in terms of all those previous Batman movies and stuff like that. It is its own. If you really want to get an idea, I suggest, when are you going to go see it?
I'm going to go Monday. And I'll probably see it. I'll probably see it Monday, and I'll probably have to go back on next Saturday and watch it again. I've got to take somebody with me. But
yeah, I've definitely watched it again. But watch a movie called Seven with Brad Pitt and
is it Seven Deadly? Is it about the Seven Deadly Sins?
Yes. Have you seen it?
No, but I have heard it's good.
Watch it. Watch that, and you'll kind of get an idea of what that movie's going to be like. Because it's like a noir style crime movie with Batman. It's very realistic, extremely realistic,
like a Joker.
Yeah, extremely realistic.
See, and I like those type of movies that set up everything.
It seems like a real place.
Yeah,
like it seems like a place that it's like, oh well, it exists somewhere, you know.
Yeah, downtown Dallas or something.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna go watch Batman. Got to watch that. I knew you've probably already seen it. I'm going to watch that this week. I will watch the Winning Time Lakers. I will watch. We did watch. Me and the wife went out. We saw Uncharted. Fantastic movie. Fantastic. Have you seen that one, Jeff? Sorry,
I have not.
Bring you in here.
I have not seen that,
See, okay.
But I will say, I'll probably when it, because I know it'll hit streaming probably in the next month or so, maybe a month and a half, and so I'll probably wait for it to come. But I have heard it's I think it's one of the fourth highest grossing video game movie films of all time. So
it is fantastic. They did a good job of adding the video game characters in there, adding the what I love about it too is the funny, the sarcastic type of humor, and they add that in there, and you obviously got the video game scene where they're flying from the freaking jet, and it is fantastic. Highly recommend that movie. So go watch that if you have not seen it. We went into doubleheader. We saw that one, and we saw A Death on the Nile. This is one of those, someone gets killed on a boat. Trying to figure out who the killer is, and it's actually really good. They did the death on some train, and it's basically this. It's that this guy's a super detective, and he's out there this time, and then someone dies on the boat in the Nile River, and my wife figured it out within like 20 minutes. She's really good at figuring this stuff, finding it, and she told me she told me the exact answer, and at the end of the movie I was like, You're 100% right. Son of a gun.
The answer, it was Brian.
It was Brian. I did it
Brian
the whole
did it.
time. We love to go to movies, so I watched Batman this week. I getting my cornhole boards hopefully this week, Jeff. You saw the preview of them the other day. They look fantastic, and when I do, I'll get a picture out on social media. They look fantastic, and that was before the finish and the lights added to them. So I'm excited to get those. It's supposed to be in this. Right now, it's really cold. They're talking about snow tonight and icing over, but next week's all in the 70s for spring break. Fantastic weather. I'll be out there throwing some cornhole, excuse me. But it's really a staycation for me. I think that pretty much covers it. I have 2 Great Danes now. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
we got 2 Great Danes. They're best of buds. We got one, and he's 7 months old. He's 6.5 months old. He's 80 pounds already. And then we decided to give him a buddy named Sully, and they're best. Hopefully they'd get along. They're best of friends. So that's fantastic. And I think that pretty much covers up what's in my locker this week, Jeff. What's in your locker, buddy?
Work. I've been working. I learning more and more, getting a little bit more familiar with what I do and what I'm supposed to do every day. We've had snow. I haven't been on the last couple of times, so we broke a record since the last time I was on here, and I think we set. It was like a -6 one day with the wind chill and everything. So, and I went to work that day. And it was pretty crazy. It was a pretty insane. But I will say, because of all the snow that we've gotten, we are not in a drought anymore, which is nice. So we've actually surpassed the moisture total of last year, which is interesting because we had a blizzard last year. So with all that being said, still kind of winter, still some snow out there. Snow in the peaks. I think we're supposed to get some more snow next week, I think on Thursday. So there's that. Psyched about the news for Russell Wilson. Huge. Makes me actually want to go in there and play Madden just to put him on the team and see what it's like. It's always exciting to do that when there's a massive change like that. So there's that. Really just been chilling out. We watched some documentaries. I watched one yesterday about Antarctica, which is kind of cool because it's just like an insane place. It's just like, it's just interesting to see a place like that because it's so different and doesn't even look like it's on Earth. So it's kind of cool. And then what else? We watched some weird thing called Evil Roommates or Bad Roommates on Netflix, which was kind of there was an episode on there where this old lady was like killing old people. She was like bringing them into her house and taking their social security checks, and then she just like started killing them and still collecting their checks. It's just and buried them in her yard. She had like 8 old people buried in her yard, which I don't see how that happened because she's like old. And I don't know how she moved those bodies.
Graves. Like,
what
in the world?
It's crazy, dude. So we watched watched that episode, and we were just like, what the? And that was actually pretty graphic. I was very surprised. I'm like, dang, this is showing a lot more than I thought. But I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. Finished it up, and I've played Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
I do have Horizon Forbidden West.
Nice.
It's extremely good. Graphically, it's insane. By far one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life. Anyone that plays this game, if you have a PS4 or a PS5, it just looks incredible, dude. It's crazy. The amount of detail is just insane.
I'm gonna try and find a PS5 this week while I'm off.
Try. I'll send you some stuff to kind of, because there's always drops and stuff. So you just kind of, there's ways of getting one, and it's tricky, but I think you can get one. So there's that. I've been, anytime I come home and I cook, I always play Rocket League. That's always my go-to game, always. Until they announce freaking Last of Us Factions. But yeah, other than that, just kind of chilled out, watched Batman, loved it. So watched it in IMAX. It's a way to watch it. If you can watch it in IMAX, I suggest going early to an IMAX because it's cheaper than going later. So, and I had a $25 movie card, so from my other work, they gave it to me. So I was like, I saved it for that particular movie. And so I'm like, yeah. So I watched that, and honestly, just chilling out. I think I'm gonna call my mom Sunday and figure out what's going on, because she's supposed to be gearing up to sell her house at some point. So we're trying to figure all that out, because my wife's gonna go over there for like a week and help my mom consolidate and organize things. So waiting to figure that out. And it's just interesting. I sent Brian a picture the other day. I pass by the stadium all the time, so you see these billboards out there. Let Russ cook. Or no, it says let's cook Russ.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's exciting. This place is buzzing. A lot of people are very excited. It's different. It's a different kind of feeling out here. These people are definitely just ready for some meaningful football. So it's exciting to see the Broncos back. Baseball, definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for MLB The Show 22 because it's going to have co-op.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play some online co-op. Definitely playing some online co-op. And I definitely want to play you in Madden with Russell Wilson on the Broncos against the Packers, because that would actually be kind of interesting. Imagine that Super Bowl.
It's funny. I have a buddy at work. Well, he's a mechanic at work, and he's a Bronco fan. He goes, "Man, I can't wait to get Aaron Rodgers. How sad are you going to be when he comes?" I saw him the other day, and he walked in. He goes, "We both win, man! Imagine that Super Bowl. I got Russ, you got Rodgers. Let's go." I'm like, yeah,
that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting Super Bowl. So yeah, I'm it's just everything's going good, work's going well, and everything's kind of just falling into place. And yeah, happy to be on the show, happy to be back. So yeah, that's kind of it, man. Just chilling out, working, coming home, just chilling out on the weekend. We run around and do stuff on the weekend. So yeah, man, can't complain.
Life is good.
Complain.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for this week off. It hasn't even started yet. I work today, and I've been working, been putting a lot of hours at work, and so it's just been that, just working and just trying to get the podcast going. And
our numbers have gone up. Numbers have gone up a little bit more, so I've noticed. So
I've been working a little more on TikTok and trying to bust out all the moves that have been happening. And I got to figure out, I know you don't know much about TikTok because I don't think you post on it, but I got to figure out how to use it better, because I'm trying to do my food reviews, right? Outspoken food reviews. And it's pissing me off. I'll go to a restaurant, I'll eat there, I'll take a picture of the food, and then I'll leave and I'll do a little video. I want to do a video of it. And then I want to put the video out, and then our pictures, and then my video pop on there. But my sound won't play. And I'm like, what? And it wants to play music. So I'll delete the music, and I'll go and try and turn the original volume up, which is the video. But it won't turn up. And I'm like, it's driving me insane. I can't figure it out. People are like, oh, just do this. I'm like, it won't let me do that. I don't know. I got to figure it out. But so I'm trying to get that going. I got some places I want to try, and I always love food, so I figured that would be an easy one. But I cannot wait for my cornhole boards, and when I get those, I'll pop that out here, guys. We are on all social platforms, as you can see up here in the corner. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We are on every podcast platform. We stream live to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. If you do not watch us live or do not watch videos, then podcast us, man. We are on every podcast platform you can find. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Apple Music. We are on Google. We are on Spotify. We are everywhere that you can be found. If you like our content, please let us know. You can email us at outspokensportscast@gmail.com. We'd love to get feedback. We love to get comments and feedback, and just anything you want us to talk about on the show. Any kind of opinions, feel free to do so. I got a buddy at work, Jeff. I'm trying to get him to work with us on the show. I want to have him on the show in general, but this guy is, I call him Mr. ESPN. Okay. He'll put something on Facebook 30 minutes before ESPN breaks it. I'm like, how in the world? And he puts out everything. So I was like, dude, I'd love to have you post these things right to our page or something. But
yeah.
But yeah, so we're trying to grow the show and just keep going with it. And that's about it, man. That's about it.
Yeah, man. Exciting. It's all good. And there's a lot more sports stuff to be had, man. There's going to be a lot more MLB stuff. There's going to be a lot more trades. There's going to be some interesting, where's Deshaun Watson going? We got Cowboys stuff coming up next week. So
we've got offseason. We'll see. I'm waiting to see what happens. If from now to next week they say what's rumored to go down with the Dallas Cowboys, we'll be talking about the debacle of an offseason.
There's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. If not, I've got a different one set up that we were supposed to do last week that we couldn't get done. But
we can go 20 minutes on their cap problem. Zeke.
We got let's save that. We'll save that. We'll get into it. We'll save that. We'll go have a whole nother episode on here if we do that. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. NFL keeps giving us news, which is fantastic. We got we got the new football league starting. We got baseball starting. I'm trying to get back into hockey, Jeff. So
basketball's ending.
March
Madness is going on.
March Madness. We've got a lot of stuff. So not that we talk a lot about March Madness. I'm not big into college basketball. I'm just not. Are you?
I think TCU's and they were playing earlier today. So they were fifth. They were playing Duke. Or no, they were playing Kentucky.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, well, that's going to do it on episode 105. 105.3 The Fan. That's what I listen to. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, that's it of this episode. We will see you next week. I might have an episode out on Tuesdays. We might need to just change this to Fridays for now. We'll see. We'll go from there. See what happens. I don't know what I'm doing Tuesday. I might be able to throw out an episode, but we'll definitely be back on next week. And so, all right, Jeff. Well, have a fun week at work next week, and God bless, brother.
Have a good weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye.